Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today we're looking at something that's now quite old, very collectible, and is becoming increasingly more difficult to find, especially in this mint sealed condition. We are looking at the 2006 release by the Sci-Fi Collector from their second wave series of Torchwood Poseable action figures. And these are all based on the Doctor Who spin-off television, Torchwood. Television series Torchwood, which was a British science fiction TV series. It was created by Russell T Davies as a spin-off of the 2005 revival of Doctor Who. Now, it aired from 2006 to 2011. Now, the show did shift its broadcast channel each series to reflect its growing audience, moving from BBC 3 to BBC 2 to BBC 1, and in the final season it acquired American financing for its fourth series, when it became a co-production with BBC One and Stars. Now, Torchwood is aimed at a much older audience, so adults and older teenagers, in contrast to Doctor Who's target audience of both adults and children. As well as science fiction, the show explores a number of themes. There's a lot of violence involved. There's human corruptibility, LGBTQ, sexuality, and so on. There's an awful lot of different adult themes that are explored in the Torchwood television series. Now, the series follows the exploits of a small team of alien hunters who make up the Cardiff-based fictional Torchwood Institute, which deals mainly with investigating incidents involving extraterrestrials, and its centre character is Captain John Harkness, as played by John Barrowman, who was obviously in the original Doctor Who, the 2005 revival of Doctor Who. Now he's an immortal, that's the word, a command from the future. The initial main cast of the series consisted of Gareth David Lloyd, Bernd Gorman, Naoko Mori, and Eva Miles. And their characters are specialists for the Torchwood team, and they often track down aliens and defending the planet from alien human threats. Now, in its first two series, the show used a time rift in Cardiff as its primary plot generator, which accounted for the unusual preponderance of alien beings in Cardiff. Now, in the third and fourth series, Torchwood operate as fugitives. Gorman and Mori's characters were written out of the story at the end of the second series. And reoccurring actor Kay Owen was promoted to the main cast in series 3, in which David Lloyd was also written out. Now, subsequently, American actors Mikhail FIFA, Alexi Havens, and Bill Pullman joined the cast of the show for its fourth and final series. The series 1 premiered on BBC 3 and on BBC HD in 2006. Had a lot of mixed reviews, but viewing figures broke records for the digital channel, and it returned in 2008, where it aired on BBC 2 and received a much higher budget. Now, its uneven tone and criticism of the first series was largely smoothed out, and the show attracted higher ratings and better reviews. The third series episode worked with a higher budget, and it was transferred to the network's flagship channel, BBC One, as a 5-episode serial entitled Torchwood Children of Earth. Although Children of Earth was broadcast over a period of 5 consecutive summer weeknights, the series received high ratings in the United Kingdom and overseas. The fourth series, co-produced by BBC Wales, BBC Worldwide, and American Premium Entertainment Network Stars, aired in 2011 under the title Torchwood Miracle Day, and that was set both in Wales and in the USA. It fared less well, I'm afraid, than the previous series, Children of Earth, although it did receive a lot of acclaim for its ambition. After that series, the series entered an indefinite hiatus, which was blamed on Russell D Davies' personal circumstance at the time, but who knows. I think perhaps the viewing figures wasn't as high as what they expected, so I think at the end of the day the series plug was pulled. But generally, a very popular series. say 4 seasons, running from Jan to April 2008. Sorry, 2006, not 2008, and ran right up until September 2011. So pretty well received, I think, overall. And you can tell that from the first 3 series, where the rating figures just went up and up and up. And obviously merchandise was spawned. Sci-Fi Collector decided to do a wave of action figures, and they done 2 waves, wave 1 and wave 2. Now, those of you that watch our videos regularly will know that we've done videos on all of the wave 1 figures, and we're now working on the second wave of figures. And the second wave figures consists of 4 characters, and one of those characters is Toshiko Sato, who was played by Naoko Mori and in season 1 and season 2, but she was written out at the end of season 2, where she was killed in action. So this is the figure in the card, and this is the card in front of us, and at the very top it's got BBC logo. It says second wave, and it's got Torchwood Poseable Action Figures, ages 5 and above. And on the left hand side you can see an image of Naoko Mori as she appeared as Toshiko Sato in the TV series. And just below that you've got the 3 main characters, Captain Jack, Eve Miles in the middle there, who was Gwen Cooper, and Gareth David Lloyd on the right hand side, who played Yanto Jones. And as you can see the figure in the behind the bubble there, and the bottom right hand corner you've got the Sci-Fi Collector logo. Okay, that's the front of the card. Let's spin it around and see what we've got printed on the back. Okay, so I've turned the card around to the back, and it shows you the 4 figures in the second wave, I should say, of this figure set. And it also shows you the first wave figures at the bottom. So it says Torchwood second wave available now. So you've got Torchwood Cardiff Captain John Hart, Torchwood Cardiff the Blowfish, Torchwood Cardiff Yanto Jones, and Torchwood Cardiff Toshiko Sato, which is obviously this particular one. And the first wave, it says collect them all. So you had the Cyberwoman, Captain Jack Harkness, the Weevil, and Gwen Cooper. Made in China, you've got CE markings and not suitable for children under 3, and manufactured by the Sci-Fi Collector Company UK, which is the division of Premier Philatelic Company Limited, the Collector Centre in the Strand. And you've got the copyright and licensing information all on the bottom right hand corner there. Okay, that's the back of the card. Let's turn around again now, and let's have a look at Toshiko figure herself. Okay, so I've turned the card around and I've zoomed in on the figure and on the face of Toshiko Sato, just so that we can have a good look at the facial features of the figure. Now, I mean, actually, it's not a bad likeness of Naoko Mori, who played Toshiko Sato. It's a pretty good likeness overall, I would say. The eyes are pretty much there. The nose is right. The mouth is maybe the only thing that's a little bit off. The hair is pretty much as close as you will get it. So, yeah, I mean, it's a really good likeness. I think these Torchwood figures were very, very good. The likeness to all the characters on all the figures were exceptional. Really, really very well done. Now, I don't have any of these figures out of the packets, unfortunately. I've only got them still sealed in the packet, so we can't actually take it out and have a closer look. But looking through the packet, you can see how absolutely splendid this figure of Toshiko is. So she is dressed in her mauve or purple leather jacket, which she wore throughout the series, the first 2 series. She's got a black vest underneath her top there. And if we go down, you can see that she's in her black trousers and her black shoes, and she is holding her pistol in her right hand. And at the bottom there, you can see the Torchwood logo on the detachable display base. Really, really nice figures these are. Now, there is some good articulation on these figures. You can probably see through the packet there. So You can see the articulation on the neck, so the head moves up side to side. So you've got the articulation on the arms, tops of the shoulders, the elbows and the hands, so they all move. So you've got 3 points of articulation on each arm plus the head. Now I'm not sure about the waist on this figure because we can't see past the coat, so I don't know if the coat, if the waist actually moves, but the tops of the legs will move, as will the knee joints there. And I'm not sure about the feet on these ones either, as I say, because I haven't actually seen any of these outside of the packets. I've only actually seen these figures inside the packets. But overall, really, really lovely figure, and I think it just looks absolutely almost exact to the character from the TV series. Now, I'm not quite sure of the numbers that were produced on these particular figures, and the second wave of these Torchwood figures always seems to be the very, very hardest to find, and Toshiko is one of those very hard ones to find. I think the Blowfish is probably the most common one that you can pick up quite regularly. The other three all do seem to be quite difficult to find. They don't come up for sale very often, so I don't know the numbers that were produced, but I'm sure they were produced in a fairly low quantity. Otherwise, I would have thought they would have been flooded on the platforms. So how well did they do? Well, like I say, I personally don't remember seeing these Wave 2 figures. And up until recently, I wasn't even sure if they'd actually been released or whether it was just an up-and-coming thing and it never actually went into production. But obviously they were produced. Well, I certainly know that the Blowfish and the Toshiko, yeah, actually, I have actually seen all four of them. So I do know that they were released, but I think there were much lower numbers than than Wave 1, the first wave of figures. But I don't know the numbers that was produced. I can tell you that I don't remember seeing these in the shops in 2006. They were probably sold through specialist stores only. Obviously the Stamp Centre, as they are part of the Sci-Fi Collector. I'd imagine places like Forbidden Planet, Galaxy 4, those types of shops would have been selling these. Any of the specialist sci-fi stores or collector stores would have had these in stock and selling them, but they weren't on general release in general stores, and that I'm pretty sure of. But although having said that, you know, in 2006 the internet was quite big, so you could have bought them from the internet. Going straight to the Sci-Fi Collector, they would have had loads available at the time, so they would have been relatively easy to get hold of, I would have thought. But there we are. So I don't know the quantities, but I'm guessing they would have all sold out at the time. I don't see these being advertised by the Sci-Fi Collector anymore, so I'm guessing that they sold out of them quite some time ago. Okay, so let's move forward to 2025, which is where we are today. So we're moving forward 19 years. Do they come up for sale very often on the platforms? Well, no, not really. I say the common one you see is the Blowfish on the platform. That does seem to pop up more often than the others. Toshiko occasionally pops up on the platforms. Yanto Jones occasionally, and the Captain again very occasionally. You don't see them up in any great quantities. But if you're patient enough and you wait long enough, you will probably find them on the platform at some point. I haven't seen any of these figures loose. I've only seen the few that are still sealed like this one in the packets. So I'm guessing that the collectors that bought them would have never taken them out. So to summarise, no, they don't come up for sale very often, but when they do, they do pop up from time to time. So just be a bit careful and patient. If you want to buy on a platform, just keep an eye open. They will. I'm sure eventually they will pop up. Now, alternatively, you don't need to go for a date. You can come straight to us at Midas Touch Toys Games Collectibles. Now, we have managed to find a few of these figures, which is all part of a shop buyout that we did fairly recently. And amongst the stock was about a dozen different Torchwood action figures. from Wave 1 and Wave 2. And we are making those figures available to our customers on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It'll take you straight to the website where you'll be able to find this and many other Torchwood items. And many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely positive that this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there is something in particular you're looking for, something old you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful vintage Torchwood Toshiko Sato action figure with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.